Hey, I am a man with my feet on the ground, nigga, I stand. I'ma face my problems, don't help it hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. Yeah. I had the ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, know I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble, now I stay in my lane. Never let the money fuck with my brain.
Hey, welcome to Dream Tour, the podcast where we take you on a tour of many different types of dreams, goals, and aspirations. I'm Duke Watson here, coming at you, and let's introduce our special guest today. Go ahead, introduce yourselves.
I'm Zach Crissman, North Coast Souls on Instagram.
And I'm Bailey Campbell, Power Laced on Instagram.
So you guys trade shoes, right?
Yeah.
What? So Zach was on here for episode 4 or 5, but you were on here with us today for the first time. What got you into trading shoes?
So I would say I was probably in 8th grade. I played basketball, and I was working on my grandparents' farm, saved up some money, and wanted to buy myself some basketball shoes.
Yeah.
So, I ended up, I think the first pair I bought was a pair of LeBron 10s, and then I bought a pair of, KD 5s, and that would have been, at this point, 7 years ago now. So, since then, it was a hobby at first, and then it kind of, I got so into it, I'd spend all my money on shoes, and it, became an addiction, and then it transferred into a business.
So, when did you sell your first shoe?
I'd probably say, I didn't really sell much to start off with. I got into trading.
Oh,
so, I would go to, trade shows and stuff and just, trade around to try to make my personal collection better.
Yeah.
But I would say I was probably, freshman year of high school, I sold my first shoe.
When did you sell your first shoe?
I was doing this stuff in middle school,
yeah,
to be honest.
I know you said you started because your dad, right?
Yeah, my dad got me into the shoes, but then, I guess my first show was Stark at, it was the basketball arena, the Canton Charge, I think. And then I got my pair of, it was Gamma 11s was the first shoe I bought, and then I sold the Taxi 9s, LeBrons. I sold those to get the Gammas, and that was my first real shoe into the shoe game.
So going to those showcases, how long did it take you to when you felt like that was home to you? At first, did it feel like, man, there's so much to... Because if I walked in there, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I know nothing about shoes.
Yeah, it feels big, honestly, and that's the thing, and then they have, SneakerCon is, the big show that you go to, and at a SneakerCon, there can be, 800 vendors in the SneakerCon, so it's huge.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
And you got to think about it. The reason I like sneaker shows is because it's all like-minded people there. But it took me a while to get used to that because honestly, when I started going to shows my freshman year of high school, my knowledge was very minimal. I knew I could name, oh, that's a Jordan 1, that's a Jordan 3, a couple different Jordans. But overall, it was me. I personally was into LeBrons and Nike basketball shoes at the time. So that's what I knew, and it took me a while to get adapted to that and learn more about it, and then actually feel comfortable at a show, especially selling too, because that's a whole different
world.
Animal.
Yes.
Yeah,
you have to really know your shoes then.
Yeah,
so, for sure.
Did it take you a while too to really get to know, make that?
The
shoe?
atmosphere of being an entrepreneur in the shoe game took a minute to, establish and.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But as far as getting into shoes, anybody could like shoes. You know what I mean? Just like he was saying, this is a Jordan 1, this is a Jordan 3. Well, you'd learn the backstories of those shoes and why they were made, the inspiration, and then it carries over to I'm starting to know all this and it's it's stacking up in my head. So that's what makes it easier to sell shoes and really get into it once you're knowledgeable about it.
And once and it's a lot easier to be passionate about it. A lot of people just get into selling shoes because they're they see their buddies making money on it. But it's really something for me, it's natural for me to sell shoes. I really enjoy it. I mean honestly, like I said, I got into shoes from buying for myself. So I really enjoy going out buying shoes, finding deals. And then, I try to, pass along the deals to whatever my customers want.
See, that's awesome, though, that, you're passionate about it. Because, that's one of the things that, I really strive to try and, on this show, I'm trying to give out a few messages, but also I'm just trying to have a good time and have some fun conversations, Yeah. But one of those messages that's really important to me is, you can do what you're passionate about. You can do something you love for a career.
Yeah.
You just have to do that extra work. Because it's more work than going and putting in an interview and putting in a resume and doing an interview and getting a job and doing that. It's more work to make a passion into a career, but it's worth it, I feel like.
And honestly, like once you've made it into a career, I feel like it's a lot like it just becomes second nature, because when you're doing something that you enjoy doing, like it doesn't feel like work anymore. But I mean, I'm sure like once you've done it, like I know people that have sold shoes for 15, 20 years now, and like those people are a little like, you can tell that they get tired of it sometimes because it's become more of a chore. And like there's like a big thing too, like a lot of the people who have the big stores now, like when they first got into it, it was like a passion.
It was their dream to become what they are now.
It was their dream to become what they are now, but now they kind of lost it because you get burnt out, and it almost becomes the point where it's like too much business and not enough passion. And my thing is like, I want to open a store and stuff, but I don't want to get to that point.
Yeah.
Where it's just all about the money.
There's this book I read. It used to be over in my stack of books here, but it's called The Happiness Equation. And in the book, they have a little chapter about this Japanese word ikigai, which means like your purpose, you know. And a lot of people like, I don't know, not a lot of people, but like your purpose, like you always need something bigger to be striving for. So if you reach all your goals, like you can't just be like, all right, I'm done. You have to find something bigger to strive towards, I feel like, or else you're going to lose that.
Yeah, you're going to lose that passion after, you know, working so hard to get it. Now you have it, and it's like, it's not really all what I wanted, or this is too much, or this got boring.
Yeah. So speaking of goals, do you guys have any goals coming up?
I mean, I really want to open a store personally. It's a lot of people are opening stores right now, so it's one of those things. It's like jump on the bandwagon and do it myself. But like I have like a vision for how I want my own store to be, and I really want it to be like for the customer. Like, because a lot of sneaker stores, like they open up, and like none in particular, but like they're chasing the money.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like I like
the money will come.
Yeah, being in a store so long, like I understand now that. Like all you really have to do is like go out there, give the customer what they want, and do good business. Like in long term, it'll work out.
You know, your word of mouth will spread. Like that's the most important marketing is that network you build.
Yeah, the networking is huge. When you're opening a store, like the more people you know with good connections, the better you'll do.
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of working on a storefront right now, but it's not like for shoes. Me and my dad just started a business together called Signature Printing and Apparel. So we make it's a print shop. So they do printing and embroidery. So like we can make pretty much any type of clothing that you can request of us. We can make it. And so we're gonna kind of open a shop, and we're looking into a couple of things right now to like put in there, because we don't want to put too much clothes that already has designs on it, because we want you to be able to come into the store, have nice clothes there that you can put what you want on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, that like, and something like that, like something where like innovative like ideas are awesome, and people were like, a lot of people are scared to chase those ideas nowadays just because they're scared of failure. Yeah. And like you got like, I mean, a lot of the people who succeed are the ones that aren't scared of failure.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily aren't scared. They don't fail. They don't succump to the fear. You know? Because everyone's a little scared. You know, you're always going to be in the back of your mind, what if this doesn't work?
Right.
Yeah.
So like, what do you do that like makes you just be like, nah? What makes you ignore the fear?
Honestly, I don't know exactly what it would be. Like, I can't put my finger on one single thing. Honestly, it's just, like, wake up and, like, a lot of the times I find that I, like, do better when I'm under a little bit of pressure. So, like, if I put myself under pressure, if I spend too much money on shoes and I'm like, oh, I got to get back now, like, that really motivates me to, like, get back, sell more stuff. Like, but, like, and I mean, honestly, it's not like I can carry that mindset throughout my life, because when you have a family and stuff, you can't really afford to do that. But like where I'm at right now, living with my parents and stuff, like I can get away with doing that.
Yeah, you're
in
that
position. And it really motivates me to do better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, take advantage of that position. What gets you to not be, like, what gets you over your fears of not being able to pursue this or whatever it is, like whatever that fear is? What gets you over that?
I guess just because I've been doing it for so long, it's like
it's kind of faded.
I'm not really scared of anything. I'm not like scared to fail, like, because I've already failed so many times with like creating like that sneaker page, and like I said before, I think this was like my 4th or 5th sneaker page, and then it like really took off. So like I got over that point to where like I kept failing and failing, and then I stopped, and you know, once I finally got that established, like it's just like, okay, that's out of the way now, and it's just, you know, from here on out, like, you know, I want to be the best sneaker salesman in Northeast Ohio. Like,
yeah,
you want to,
and there's no better way to figure it out than to mess up and be like, all right, I'm not doing that again.
Right. So then you learn new ways to overcome that, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you can get a little farther, but then you might fail again, but then you just got to keep going, and like, you know, here I am now, like.
You know how many times I had to lose footage to learn how to not lose footage?
Too many.
Too many times. And there's still so much to learn, and then with this and
Oh, for sure.
you know, moving forward and all that type of stuff. So you're looking into opening a store, right?
Yeah.
What do you have to look at for that? Like where?
So honestly, the biggest thing is like finding a storefront. And right now with COVID and everything, there's a lot of stuff open, and like businesses are going, like there's a lot of people going out of business and stuff right now. So there's definitely new spaces opening up. But for me, it's just a matter of finding the right space that's going to work, that I get a decent amount of foot traffic. Because honestly, like my network isn't bad, but it's not quite enough to like drive a whole store.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
like
you're an individual, you know.
Yeah. So like I want a good storefront, nothing that's gonna break the bank. Like I was thinking about doing a mall space, but the thing about a mall space, you kind of just lose like the homely vibe of like having a storefront that's not in a mall or standalone like brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So it's basically that's.
You're just
where I'm at,
looking for spaces right now.
Yeah, looking for spaces.
You thinking Akron, or are you thinking more Cleveland?
I really like Kent.
Kent, okay.
Yeah, because like what I do, so like I do a lot of vintage stuff too. So like the vintage clothing, the streetwear, and the sneakers. I feel like if you like combine all three of those for a store, like Kent, they have like their fashion school is really big.
Very big.
Yeah, they're one of the top programs. I don't know. I know they're definitely top programs in Ohio. I don't know about in the
I'm
country.
pretty sure they're top 5 in the United States.
Yeah, they're
if
up
I'm not
there.
mistaken. Yeah.
Not to mention, like, on a campus itself, where,
Yeah.
like, you have so many young individuals, and that's like, I wouldn't say the main target, but that's, like,
No,
the
you
people
have
who
to
are,
have a
like, mainly
target age.
interested in.
Yeah, you gotta have a target age. You know,
the vintage, the streetwear, the shoes, like, everything about it, like.
you're putting out an advertisement. One of the, like, if you're, like, going into Facebook and putting out an advertisement, one of the, like, they give you a couple options that are your basic options, and it's literally just, like, area and age. If you want to go, like, obviously you can pinpoint more things and do more specific targeting, but,
Right.
you know, if you're not into advanced marketing, that's what you got to know, is your area and your age of what type of people you want. That's the basics of marketing. You gotta know who you want, because if you don't know who you want in there, how are you going to get them to come?
Right.
You're
Exactly.
like,
So where are you planning on opening your storefront at?
It's actually open right now. It's in,
really?
It's in the falls.
Gotcha.
It's right now it's not, the storefront isn't open. We're like cleaning it out, because we actually got a functioning print shop from someone else.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we just took over their business, and like we're just really figuring out like the ins and outs. Like I'm self-teaching myself how to graphic design t-shirts. I've been doing some pretty cool stuff, and I'm really starting to get the hang of it now. We've been doing it for about 3 weeks, so I'm starting to get the hang of the graphics on the t-shirts, and we're starting to make some designs that we're gonna just put up in the store, and like that took me a while of, you know, just YouTubing stuff, messing stuff up, and learning that. And my dad, he's been a shirt salesman, a custom apparel salesman for most of my life. So he's starting to show me the ropes of, like, he's got all the catalogs of like all the different types of blank clothing you can get, and he's starting to teach me the ropes of kind of the sales world.
Now, where in the falls is that?
It's off of Bailey Road.
Okay.
So like if you get off at Front Street, go left on Bailey.
Right.
You go down there, there's a little thing called the Bailey Road Tavern, and that's on Pierce Avenue. That Bailey Road Tavern shares a parking lot with us.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
I know where that is.
Yeah, if you're on Google, it's like Extreme Designs, but we're like in the process of getting.
Is that right by the gas station?
Yeah, it's right by it. It's like right
forget what it's
past
called.
Sunoco.
Okay, yeah.
Or whatever that is.
I
there.
think it's a Sunoco.
Yeah. I'm in the process of getting them Google or like Apple Maps to change its name from Extreme Design, because it was Extreme Design before, and we changed it to Signature Printing and Apparel. But I'm super excited about that. That's what I've been spending most of my time doing. I actually took a pretty big step, and I'm cutting. I just put in my request, to my day job. I'm cutting that from working there 6 days a week to 3 days a week. So I'll be up at that shop a lot more.
Focusing more on that, getting that ready for when it does.
What's the shop life for you? You guys have been doing. I mean, it looks like you guys are having some fun up there. At Kicks and Cuts.
We've been doing fairly well. It's just for me, it's a good environment because like I was doing it. I'm doing it with a couple friends. Like we have a full-time barber up there. Cool with the barber. You
get cut up by him?
I do. Yeah, he's nice with it.
Is he?
Seriously. But no, I mean, it's just a cool place. You go there and like that's where all your stuff is. Just like he was saying, you get that homely vibe. When you go in there, it's like, okay, this is where all my stuff is. This is where I'm keeping it. This is the establishment. So it's good.
Yeah, it looks like it's been pretty fun. I've been seeing a lot of it on social media. Marvin,
it's Kicks and Cuts on Instagram, YouTube.
Does Marvin run the Instagram?
Yeah, me and him both are
doing
on
it.
Instagram.
Yeah, you guys do a good job with it. You guys do a good job of staying active. It's hard to like social media and staying active as a business is not what you'd think. It really isn't.
Right.
You guys have been running shoe pages for a while. It's weird, isn't it?
And honestly, I'm terrible at being active on Instagram. Like
honestly,
I'm so inconsistent.
I'll get you in my groups and I'll start helping.
Yeah, you need to get in this group chat.
I just like my thing is like I really don't make enough sales through Instagram to like really like take the time out of my day to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for me personally, like I do a lot of selling on like eBay. There's an app called Go sell shoes through, and then
I've heard about it.
Yeah, like I usually sell like through the apps and then through eBay. I've had a lot of success on eBay, and it's one of those things like the more successful people that I know selling shoes online sell through eBay. So I've kind of been trying to make the transition to selling a lot on there too.
Okay. So like, how many pairs of shoes do you guys have on like right now? Not personal and business shoes. How many pairs of shoes do you guys have? You guys have a ton of shoes.
You can go first because I know yours is bigger than mine.
I probably say I'm at about 370.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That is so many pairs of shoes.
It's a lot, and go ahead.
Whereas I'm like 70, 80.
That's so like, many shoes.
I know, but like that's the jump. He's also been doing this a little bit longer than I have.
Yeah, you're a little bit older, right? Like 2 or 3 years.
I'm 21.
You're 21.
19.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to be 21. It's literally a month from now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, when I'm 21, I'll be able to like get an IPA and sip it on here. Like, do something like that.
That's a good point. But
that's like the one thing I'm looking for. Legally. Yeah. Legally. I feel like, I don't know YouTube's policy, but I feel like if YouTube looks at my Gmail account says I'm 20.
Yeah.
And they see me sipping a beer, they'll be like, this dude's never.
They might be weird about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it to do it. I got a month.
Yeah, just wait it out. And even then, you might want to look at the policies because like you don't want to get a video like gone.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take it. It definitely want to take it down, and I'm more about. I'd rather have the show the way I like it than the way that
YouTube wants it to be.
The way YouTube wants it to be. I don't care what YouTube thinks. I don't care if. Like this show isn't necessarily about the making money. I'm gonna start some other shows and start doing some other stuff to bring some revenue in. But I never want to put ads on this show. I never want to charge people to come on.
Right.
I just want this show to be enjoyable for me and whoever I have on. Just the conversation, have a good time.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the things like I've wanted to start a podcast too. It's like it's one of those things like you just want to talk like with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved having a story because you like people who are motivated. Because like honestly nowadays it's pretty rare to find people who are motivated. A lot of people you get comfortable.
It's so easy to get comfortable.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that like you can get your phone, you can get your computer, you got Netflix on your TV, and you can just be comfortable.
Yeah, and it's easier than it's ever been before just to be comfortable. So I personally try not to fall into that trap, and like the people that I'm close with, I try to tell them I'm like yes, like the goal in life a lot of people say is like I just want to be comfortable, like I want to have you want to have the money to be comfortable, you want to have everything like lined up. But like for me personally, just like I've always wanted to create and like innovate. So
yeah,
I just feel like I can't let myself fall into that.
I think some people are just built different. I think some people are built entrepreneurs. Like everyone that I meet that is in the entrepreneurship field and way, they've got a certain energy to them that like I can't put a pin in it, like where exactly what it is, but there's just this certain energy that entrepreneurs have that you can kind of just like, this guy doesn't want to work for anybody else. He doesn't want to do that.
And honestly, it's kind of a gift and a curse. Because at the same time that it's like, he wants to chase the bag, he wants to reach his goals and all this. Like at the same time, it's also, well, when do you become satisfied? Like when do you feel that you're successful? Mm-hmm. So you have to find a balance where you can like take a step back and be like yeah, I did that. Like I'm proud of myself for doing that, and then like go back to being like acknowledge your accomplishments, and then go back to doing what you were doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Not only that, I feel like there's more times than not where you feel broke because all the time. Like,
well, that's the thing. Like
all your money is like always tied up in inventory because you always want to have different inventory, and it's like you take a look in your pocket and it's like, wow, like it doesn't even feel like you have it, but then again you look at your inventory and it's like, wow, it's all here. Mm-hmm. So I mean, just like when we've been trading, you've been trading stocks with us. I don't know if you're in our stock group just yet.
I'm not.
He doesn't like them.
Oh, you don't mess with the stocks?
I personally feel like if you want to really make money on stocks, you have to put a lot of money into it, and I'm not in a position where I can risk a lot of money right now.
Yeah, I mean, I on November 11th or 12th, I put in $260 into my stock market account. By January 1st, it was $1,000.
That's what I mean. Like, you can have a little bit of money to play with.
That's the thing. It's like
it's not.
So
it's
here's
not risk.
Here's my question. From November 11th,
that was a great time on the stock market.
To when?
Granted, yes.
It was from November till January 1st.
All right.
It was only two and a half months, and that's a big increase.
For $200 being put in there.
Mm-hmm. So how much time did you put into stocks in that time, though?
Oh, not too much.
Okay.
I get tips. We have a community of people who just like if they're buying something good and they hear something good, they send it in this chat.
Yeah.
We check it out. If we want to buy it, we buy it. It's if you wanted to sit down and be a stockbroker and do all that research yourself, that's a lot of time. But it's like my saving for my future slowly, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, right now I haven't made any money in a month because the stock market's been...
Dude, it was bad the other day.
It's been so bad. It's been bad.
And that's my thing. I don't like
that.
So the way that I look at it is if you want to make money in the stock market, you have to put money in that you are 100% content with losing. And almost like once you make money, like a lot, like my uncle's a big investor, my cousin's my cousin does day trading. And it's like one of the you make enough money that you can pull your money out and then you're playing with house money. That's where you want to be ideally.
Yeah.
But the people who make the money in the stock market are the people who take the biggest risk usually.
That's fast money, but like
long term is a lot different.
Long term's a lot.
Long term is a lot different. I'm all for investing long term. Like I want to have a retirement fund and stuff. But honestly, I'm probably not going to be in a position to start a retirement fund until I'm like later 20s. So like at the moment, I'm not really like. I don't know. I just don't get tied up in the market.
Yeah,
I mean it's fair.
Yeah, you don't have to be into it. It's just one of those things. I'm interested in it. I want to learn more about it. So I took that $260. I made some money. I lost some money, and we're just learning the ways of the stock market and just trying to slowly grow over time.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like you're learning something and you're making money while doing it, so that's a plus.
Right.
And yeah, like my cousin when he got into day trading, he's like, I got lucky when I started out. Mm-hmm. If he wouldn't have got lucky when he started out, he probably would have quit. But he got lucky and then he learned more, and now he's gotten to a point where he can consistently he'll have a day where he makes a couple thousand. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely there's a learning curve to everything, mm-hmm. and a lot of things when you're getting into stuff. That's when I got into shoes. I just ended up buying the right things, and I ended up making money on that stuff regardless.
Yeah. So
luckily I was stingy enough when I got into it that I'm like, oh, I need to pay this much for that shoe, and I ended up making $20-$30 on it even after I wore it for a little bit.
Wow. Yeah,
So-
that's pretty cool.
I feel like shoes and stocks are almost kind of the same because like
Trading of any sort is somewhat similar.
not only just the market of shoes varies just like stocks do.
Mhm.
It's crazy, and like in such a short amount of time they could dip. They could rise to
And the
hundreds
reason
of dollars more than what they were 2 days ago.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
the reason that I prefer shoes over stocks is just like I know shoes. Like shoes consume like a good percentage of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's one of the things like I know like for a fact like for example like an off-white Jordan 5 in the sale colorway, like I think that shoe is going to be like 800 850 by the end of the summer. Right now they're selling for like 600 650.
And you
So-
know that.
So like I have 3 of them at home looking to buy a 4th. And that's one of my investments.
Yeah, and it's like also like when it comes to the passion for it, like one of the reasons I love the stock market is because I like all types of entrepreneurship and business. So I'm just into business as a whole. So I like seeing how like all businesses essentially work the same, but they're all so different.
Yeah.
And if you can learn a little bit about, if you like just like looking into different businesses, you're essentially looking into stocks because you're looking into businesses already. So just seeing that type of thing, I was like, you know what? Let me mess around and trade a little bit. Man, I am choking on some water right here.
Not only that, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. So like
that's
all your stuff is in stocks. Like
Mhm.
and something happens, like there's no way of getting that. I mean, there is a way. You don't
Yeah.
lose it until you sell it. But
Yeah,
like,
you could, if you lose a bunch of money in the stock market and sell, that's
the worst thing you could do.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's like if like you guys got a shoe that was $500 and it dropped to $250 and you're like maybe in a year or two it'll be back up to $500 and you just sold it for $250.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that you just have to learn when to cut your losses on, and it's kind of it's just a gut feeling. I'm sure it's the same with stocks.
Mhm.
Like yes, like you can read trends and stuff, but at the end of the day, like it's on you to make that decision, and you just got to determine what the rest of the market's gonna do, or like what you believe the rest of the market's gonna do, and make your decision based off of that.
Not only that, like you can read those trends and see like what people think it's gonna do. That doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna do
that.
what the trend says it's going to do.
And like I told him earlier, I'm like, just because you know the stock market today doesn't mean you're going to know it a year from now. Because the way that trends are today, people figure out those trends and then trends change.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the stock market's just like a never-ending, like it's always changing, and like the whole thing with Reddit and GameStop and all that.
The one
like,
thing about the stock
that's
market
crazy.
though, the Reddit GameStop thing was crazy. Don't even get me started. I almost made a video about how angry I was that day that they paused the trading on, because I use Webull. I don't use Robinhood.
Yeah.
But Webull, they paused everyone's trading, and like
It was weird.
it's ridiculous because like they were essentially like
Stopping you from making money almost because of what was going on.
Yeah, they didn't want us. They were like attacking us as individual traders. Just because I've got $500 and I wanted to make that $500 into $1,000, you guys are going to stop me when I know you guys are spending millions of dollars on stocks a day. The people who are running this are spending millions and billions.
Yeah.
And flipping that, and they're mad that we're making a little bit of money, so they paused us. Like it was
that's
dirty.
And honestly, the whole Reddit GameStop thing is like a huge example of. Like, you kind of got to look into how corrupt everything is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they're like, people are starting to realize that, like, sometimes if you have the mass majority of people, you can overpower that. Like, it's not necessarily...
That's almost what the people of Reddit did to
Well,
bring
no,
it
we
up
did.
to that
No,
point.
Reddit,
Like,
they want to say, like, people have been saying, like, Reddit won for the first time against, it was the, Jordan Belfort did a little talk about it on his Instagram. He said his whole career he tried to beat the people who were making shorts. He tried to beat those hedge funds who were shorting stocks, and that's what they did. They were shorting. The hedge funds were shorting GameStop, trying to make GameStop worth less money, and some guy on Reddit said, hey, screw them.
Yeah.
We're making this worth as much money as we can. Because the more people who buy it, the more the rate goes up. They know GameStop wasn't worth that, but they were just trying to screw the hedge fund, and they did it. And
it's crazy.
and it's funny that, like,
they got so mad about it.
someone like Belfort, like,
He
who
said,
he was.
He spoke out about it.
No, yeah, right. And then just random people on Reddit that were able to do what he couldn't. That's just, like, it's crazy to think about, like, what people can do, you know?
I wonder how. So like the thing about a pump and dump is that's what that GameStop was. It was buy, and then they don't tell you when to sell.
Yeah.
The inner circle of people who organized that pump and dump, they all sold when they stopped saying bye. They all sold and they made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But these other people who, oh my gosh, these other people who followed their trend, right? They just had a risk.
Yeah.
All they had was, hey, hopefully these guys got it right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's the thing. That's my thing with stocks. Like everything you buy is a risk, and it's the same thing with shoes. I'm just the same thing with shoes, but
you just don't
I'm just more comfortable with shoes.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, look at a turtle dove for example, bro.
Well,
it was so low for so long.
Can you
like
hand me that water?
I wouldn't even say low, like 5s, and then it shot over 2K.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing worn once pairs for like, I think it sold for like 600, dude. It was crazy.
It's just up and down like that.
It's just honestly, it's just a lot of it's just based off of what celebrities wear.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
what celebrities do you keep your eye on then?
Travis Scott's the main one right now.
Yeah.
If Travis
he
wears it, which is crazy because like 3 years ago it was Kanye. Like Kanye everything. Kanye wore a white Ultra Boost. That white Ultra Boost was suddenly worth $100 more. Like it was like I mean what was it, Creams? When he wore Creams,
the Cream 1.0s.
I think they were on Adidas for retail, and literally the next day like selling for $300 online.
Oh my gosh.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Go on.
Like retail was 180, people were selling for 300 the next day.
How do you guys get ahead of the pack on the trends?
Honestly, the best thing to do is, for me personally, I like to sell a lot of used stuff. And I try not to get too involved with the trends and stuff, because when you're trying to predict in the future, that's like, I don't know. It's just like
you're taking the risk.
Yeah, it's when you're taking a risk, and it's just like stocks. It's like I don't know for sure. I can take a guess, but I'm gonna definitely limit what I have invested to it, instead of like dumping like my half of my inventory into stuff that's like, oh, I'm gonna hold this because it might go up. I'd rather just turn the money and like see how many times I can turn my inventory in a year, rather than like taking risks on stuff that might go up.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense though. What do you do to keep up on what's going on in the shoe game?
Twitter.
That
has a lot of information, like a bunch of leaks too, like what people are wearing. Instagram. I mean, there's a bunch of leaked pages.
So you're on social media checking stuff out.
Yeah, honestly, social media is so important too. Like that's what I was saying. Like I'm like, it consumes a lot of my life. So I'm always on social media. I'm always looking at shoes. I'm always looking at like GOAT, like looking at used shoes for sale on GOAT. Like it's just like, it's one of those things. Like the more time you put in it, the more money you'll make. But it's also like you get burnt out when you're like spending too much time in it.
Right? Yeah. That's one of the things I've fallen into. Is like I was going so hard at social media that I like really was like, I want some break from social media.
It feels like a chore.
Yeah, and then I was like, man, I got to get back to social media, and then you don't want to do it because you just got to beat out of it, and you got to get back on that you got to find that balance of like what's the amount that I can tolerate you know?
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about social media? You guys think social media is like a good thing, a bad thing? A thing?
Me go ahead?
You go ahead.
For what use? Our use as entrepreneurs,
just
or
your personal,
in general?
Your personal opinions of what social media is, how it's affecting our world.
Oh, I feel like it has a great influence. Like a great meaning like not good, but a huge influence.
You think it's a bad influence?
Yeah.
You do?
I mean, it's
to a certain extent, yes.
Right, to a certain extent, but mainly like that everybody is so consumed by it now. Everybody's so wrapped in around it. Like 20 years ago, that wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like our
Facebook
parents'
came out
age,
when I was 10.
Right, like not even 20 years ago. So like, it's just everybody is so wrapped up in that, and like, yeah, it can be used for good and bad things. I mean, like, as for entrepreneurs, like you can see like those leaks, you can see those trends, like what's going on, what to buy, when to buy it. But I mean, the bad is just like, I don't want to get into detail, but like it's like.
There's
how much people
like trying to look so cool,
right?
Trying to look like someone else.
How much consumed
it
are
affects
into
mental health for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where I really like the obsession with social media is terrible for mental health. Me personally, as a business person, I know that the better you are with social media, the bigger of a following you can build, the more active you can get your followers to be, the more successful you're going to be as a business. Especially in a business like ours, like if you can reach out, if you can build up a network through social media with a ton of people, you build up a following of there's pages on Twitter you have 200,000 followers, you can live off of Twitter.
Yeah.
You can there's a lot of you can just do affiliate links and stuff like that, and you can make a living off of that.
Yeah.
Off sending tweets out automatically, and it's crazy because I don't know if you guys follow Fat Kid Deals on Twitter.
I actually deleted Twitter recently. I'm about to get it back though.
Gotcha. So there's an account called Fat Kid Deals, and it's all Amazon affiliate links.
Oh really?
And they have tons of followers. It's probably in the millions, but the amount they just they'll tweet out random stuff, affiliate links, and they're making good money. And you think about it, every single thing they tweet out with as many followers they have, they're selling at least a few of them.
Yeah.
So
out of the million that they have,
yeah. I think the rule of thumb in marketing sales is for every 100 eyeballs you get 1 to 2 clicks, and for every 100 clicks you get 1 to 2 buys. So if you have 200,000 people and that means,
do the math.
That means 2,000 people are clicking it, and 200 people are 20 people are buying it. That's still enough for one post,
Yeah, it's crazy. And social media, it's a monster, honestly. You look at 6 months ago, Trump was trying to shut down TikTok.
Yeah.
That's there's a whole nother argument there with how China can have their social media in the United States, and the United States can't have their social media in China, but there's it's powerful. Social media is powerful.
Very.
And the information that people can gather from social media is insane. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where I feel
what's real information?
Yeah.
That's true.
People really started I'd say up until 2017, people didn't realize the whole power behind social media. At least people like us.
Yeah, no.
The big guys understood it. But people like us are just starting to figure that out, and we're building businesses and stuff. So now we're we got to do what we can to succeed in social media so we can succeed in business.
Yeah, there's so many books now about how to do Instagram.
Yeah.
It's what? There's books on how to Instagram?
Right, why would that be a thing? But, as we were saying, it social media as a whole has taken such a big, toll on everybody. There's people have a reason to write a book on how to use Instagram now. It's
my opinion on social media is I like to look at it for what it is. It's a platform. If you leave Twitter there and nobody had a Twitter account, it would be a blank page of nothing.
Yeah.
But you put into it, you get out of it, and I think what you put into it is what you get out of it. If you're going to go in there and you're putting in business and you're promoting and you're staying with just some type of positivity, the pages they recommend to you aren't going to be these people who are beefing and are half naked trying to look better than the next person or whatever. What you put into it is what you get out of it.
Right.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who that's what I was saying about mental health. A lot of people just get so invested in it, and it'll tear you apart. So it's definitely sad because you see you see the issues with it, but a lot of these people, a lot of Instagram and stuff, they're making so much money. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where capitalism is going to roll over that at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's so hard to put regulations on something that's been rolling for 10 years.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it so the last time I saw something the other day that the last time that they made internet regulation laws was either 2000 or 99.
Yeah.
What? That's the whole point of the American government. The reason that we get new senators and a new president and a whole new Congress and new representatives every 4 years, 6 years. The reason we get new people is so the new people update. They're supposed to update it.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like they're doing that.
Well, and honestly, it sure seems like a lot of things that are government regulated. Well, there's lobbyists and stuff that make sure that they get their way on things.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. You think about it. The people making the money are in charge. The people in,
no matter where
the
you
people
are,
in government, they aren't making the decisions. The people who are giving them money are making the decisions.
Yeah.
So
and that's a problem in itself.
Whenever you get so far up that money is real power, it's your wealth can control so many things and influence so many different things. It's like,
You don't know what this just made me think of, completely off the topic of what we're talking about. But so money is power, right?
right.
And time is money.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all given the same 24 hours. So we all have the equal from when we turn 18, you know, we all have this equal amount of 24 hours in a day to make the most money and have the most power as we can. Yet people go and they work 8 hours for $10 an hour, and they go home and get on social media and complain why they aren't getting as much as these people who are spending 60 hours a week. Like, they're like, oh, how do these YouTubers make hundreds of thousands of dollars? These YouTubers spend 60 hours a week, and they drove around living in their car for a year so they can make cool videos.
Yeah,
It's all about the time you put into it, like,
Yeah.
versus taking that time to complain about it. Like,
And honestly, it's kind of funny. Like, people complain about people making more money when in reality they're the ones watching their videos, and they're the reason that they're making the money.
right.
like
you're helping me out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like,
It's crazy, like the Paul brothers, you know, like, people will watch them all day just to say that they hate them, and they're like,
negative things about them, right?
Yeah.
And they
Come
love
on.
it. They
Give
love
me
that's
those
what they
hate.
want.
Give me
that's
that
the,
hate,
and
yeah.
honestly, it's like
That's
one of those
why
things. It's like
That's why I need
there's-
some haters. I need some
Yeah.
haters. They really blow you up.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like even like if people have their name in your mouth when you're on that level,
Mm-hmm.
like it's not like it's beneficial. Like even if they're saying bad things about you, like your name's getting out
I'm gonna
there.
look so dumb on this, bro. Like, this is so weird.
Oh my gosh.
No, but like yeah, it's one of those things that's like crazy, and I think that was like when like there's a lot of people that just benefit off of the simple like controversy that goes around a lot of things. Like there's like a lot of ways just to benefit off people having your name in your mouth, your name getting out there.
Dude, if I were a rapper and I made rap music and I thought I was good, I would find one of the mid-tier, like actual like a B-class rapper, you know. They're not top name, but they're the B-class rapper that's from my area, and I'd beef with them. Right away.
Exactly. the hot
Just
subject,
like look
like-
at like what 6ix9ine like 6ix9ine was
I
with
was-
Meek Mill. Like
Yeah,
that's one of the
gosh.
things that's like, and I mean honestly, like I've always I've been a Meek Mill fan.
I love
fan
Meek
since I
Mill.
was probably 8th grade. So like I've always liked Meek Mill, but I haven't been into his recent music.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw that in the news about him and 6ix9ine, I'm throwing some old Meek Mill, listen to it. So
Yeah.
like it's one of those things. It's like you get your name in the news and shit. You get your name out there, like.
Yeah, bro. You hear something, you want to check it out. You see something 3 times, you're like, you remember that stuff, you know? 3 people talk about Meek Mill that day. You're like, man, Meek Mill.
What's
Yeah.
going on? You look that up and you see what everything's, you know,
Yeah.
what everybody's
And all of a sudden,
talking
you're
about.
listening to Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah.
No,
True.
To go back on that, like, Meek Mill isn't like a B tier.
He's not a B-class rapper.
No.
I don't know how you class rappers, honestly.
This could be,
I
this
feel
could be
like
a
you
whole show.
I feel like you just know where to place them.
So, what would you consider Meek Mill to be?
My opinion, or where is he
Yours.
placed? Okay, so what's the? I need a list of where I can place him.
We'll say there's an A, B, a C, and a D class.
So D class is like famous, but they're not huge. They're still famous, right?
No. I'm saying A class
Is the best.
A class is the top.
A class is like you know everyone knows
A
who
class
they are.
A class is Drake.
Okay. Yeah, Drake's
then what's
biggest
what's
selling
D
rapper.
class?
D class is I'm trying to think of like a small rapper that like.
But you
guys
know
will
him.
know.
You might know
Listen
him.
to Larry June
No.
because he's like creeping in a C class.
So
now.
let's say like someone with like just like 500,000 or 1 million fans, versus
Yeah.
Drake who has 60, 70, 80 million fans.
Where is Meek on that? In my opinion, or
Yeah.
like,
What in your opinion?
dude, I don't like him.
I
Okay.
just don't
Respectfully
like him.
though, respectfully
Yeah, no,
B.
it's okay to not.
That's what I'm
Respectfully
saying.
B.
Yeah, he.
You don't really listen to much rap though, right?
I hear that.
Not too much.
Not like that's not my main.
So like for example,
No.
like rappers from our area, like Trippie Redd. Where would you put Trippie Redd at?
B.
I like
and
Trippie.
What about is it Staley or Stally?
Huh?
You guys heard of him?
Mm-mm.
No.
He's in. Is he?
Man, that dog.
I don't know. He may be in Maybach Music. I don't know.
I have no idea. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, but or
MGK. He's from
or
around
K-Swab.
here.
K-Swab.
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 I know about K-Swab.
Shout out to K-Swab. I played on his basketball team.
Did you
man.
really?
Yeah, we played together at AAU.
That's crazy. I just know I've heard some of his music around at Akron.
He's with
Just 'cause-
Trippy, so like.
Is he
Yeah.
really?
He goes out to California all the time.
That's
I
awesome.
thought he stays on California, does he?
Partially,
Oh,
here and
gotcha.
there.
Someone
He-
said they
he's
saw
back in-
Trippy in the malls here, just buying everything in one of the stores a couple
Which
years
mall?
back. Summit Mall.
Okay, that's fair.
Like right when
a
he got
couple
big.
years back. Okay, that's fair. I thought like recently. I'm like, there's no reason like he would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my older
would you
brother
go
said that his
Beachwood?
friend was like,
A Beachwood, yeah,
Beachwood.
he wouldn't be too far off. But like,
yeah. I mean, you know, probably before he was able to move his family out of here or whatever. I don't even know how much money that dude's making. Probably a
Who?
ton.
dude, Trippy.
Yeah.
To move out of
Trippy's
Canton,
making good money.
Ohio.
I mean, I don't know how many like monthly listeners he has on Spotify or anything, but like Trippy's making rapper money. Like,
Yeah. The thing that hurts rappers with COVID is like people don't really think about it, but you make most of your money from your
tours, yeah.
You make less than we talked about this. I think.
At the Super Bowl.
How
at my
much of a
house.
cent was it? Like
it was- I think it was
2/10
2/10
of a cent per play,
Oh my god.
It's low, but like,
but that adds up.
That adds up.
Like-
Yeah, 100 plays. You're making a
what's
cent.
but you gotta
Or, no,
understand
50 plays.
the
Makes sense.
the rappers who are like niche rappers, I guess, where you have 50,000-60,000 listeners a month,
Mhm.
but they're like hardcore fans and they would come out to your shows like
And they buy
90% of
and
like
they buy your merch and
yeah, like you have a 90% conversion rate of like, oh, of those listeners, like these, like all of these people are coming to your shows. Like
Who'd you classify in that?
I can't even think
I
about
know
it.
what you
Like
mean.
a
So-
cult following
so for
type- a
exa-
cult
like-
following type deal. Like,
For example, like I don't know how you guys feel about Russ, but like
I-
when Russ was coming up, I was huge. Like I actually one
I
of
like
our
Russ. He's in my opinion, Russ is the best businessman in the young rappers.
that's a very valid point, honestly. Like
He's got such a great business.
like and he partnered. He didn't sign. He partnered.
Mhm.
So he's definitely like his net worth. I think his net worth's already over 10 million,
He's doing
which
it
is
by
That's
himself.
insane. Because I went to a concert of his in 2017
Mhm.
at House of Blues in Cleveland, and I shit you not, 200 people there. And
That's
then
it?
the next year, I went to Columbus and Pittsburgh to see him,
Mhm.
and I think there was 6,000 in Pittsburgh and 8,000 in Columbus.
Wow.
So like in the
He's
matter
in
of
Columbus
a year,
in March.
it's
Is
it's
he?
Yeah, I think so.
and
In May.
Oh, actually,
Speaking
Columbus
March-
in May.
Is
March?
SneakerCon still a go?
no, it got pushed back to
Again.
December. Yep,
Oh.
December 21st or something like that.
Wow.
But
You'd think they'd be able to figure out some type of way to follow the regulations.
See,
you know,
dude,
everyone's been adapting. You think they'd be able
the
to
problem
adapt.
with like a big show like SneakerCon is
There's too many
there's
people,
not
dude.
there's too many people. Yeah,
Too many
like
people to
way,
regulate.
there's too
way too many people.
yeah. You got to think like there's a lot of people out there who like. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are completely over the COVID regulations.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are, you as SneakerCon, you're banking on a lot of people to actually listen to the rules, follow the regulations, and if they don't, it's gonna fall on you.
Yeah.
So like you can't really blame
You can't
them
take
for
that
postponing
fine.
it.
Yeah, you can't take that fine. Yeah, there's this thing in Florida called Podfest that I want to go to, and it's all the podcasters, you know. So I'd love to go to that, and I think last year it was supposed to be like right when COVID started, and they canceled. And my podcast provider Buzzsprout, they sent me tickets last year, and I was hoping they'd get them again this year, but I haven't heard anything about it going down.
Yeah, there's a lot of things
It's
just
just-
getting canceled, and it's kind of sad just from like, because for me personally, like I love shows because I feel like I really thrive in a social environment. So
Then
not
you bank
having
in shows.
Yeah, like
it's
Yeah, that's
it's
probably
the best time to meet new people and just
And that's
get
the,
your name out
and that's
there
the thing. It's like
sell.
at a show, you're selling and you're networking.
Mhm.
So like you're double dipping. And there's shows like I always tell people about. I went to SneakerCon DC, and like the first day of SneakerCon DC, I sold about like 70 pairs of shoes. It was $14,000 in sales in one day, and that's the best day I've ever had selling shoes. And I'm like. And I couldn't believe it. It was just like, and there was people. The thing is, like, there's people when you go to a show like SneakerCon, you have buyers from Asia, like you have buyers from like Germany. They're like all over.
So they're coming to get shoes that are
They come
not
buy
lim-
them. Well, no. So like for example, I was talking to one guy at SneakerCon DC, and there was 3 of them buying. He had $100,000 in his backpack, and the 2 guys buying for him had $50,000 in their backpacks.
Oh my god.
Here's this money, go buy those.
And they're buying shoes up and shipping them back to Asia to sell in their store.
Wow. Because I mean, they probably don't have the same supply chain over there.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's like the cost to ship each shoe individually is astronomical because you got to pay import fees and all that. So they kind of like finagle their way around that, and they do
a big shipment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Not only that, I mean, SneakerCon is the biggest show in the world, and they don't really hold events like I would say like globally. I know they do some in Canada.
They do. They do China. And
but the majority of them are in the States.
Yeah, I'd say like 85% of them are in the States. I think they did Singapore. And
Singapore is a really you hear about Singapore all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just because I play Pokemon Go and they're like huge in Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I know they have a show in China like every year usually.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? China's there's a lot going. People do business over there. They do some big business over there.
Outside of China, though, I'm not too sure what other countries they've had shows in. But it's usually United States, and honestly, the three biggest ones are New York, L.A., and usually Cleveland.
Really?
Cleveland is huge.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot right around Cleveland. You know, you can drive 6 hours from Chicago. You can drive 6 hours from Philly. You can drive
that's
2 hours
to
from Pittsburgh. 2 hours from Columbus. Detroit's
personally
2 hours.
Yeah, I personally was really shocked. Like, I went to SneakerCon Chicago, and I thought Chicago was going to be bigger than Cleveland because I'm like, oh yeah, like
there's a lot more people.
Michael Jordan played in Chicago. It's going to be bigger, dude. It was probably like 80%, 85% of the show that Cleveland was.
Wow.
And I was like,
shout out Cleveland.
Wow. Like the sneaker culture around here is way bigger than people give it credit. And I really think a lot of that 10 years ago was like people like big LeBron heads are like, you get into LeBrons, you get the, and then people will go to St. Vincent, St. Mary's, get the samples, and it was a lot more attainable around here. So the culture around here, it's honestly, it's amazing. And that's what I'm like even like the local shows, like back when we started doing the shows, like the Stark Got Souls, like there was probably 50, 60 vendors max at like those shows.
Maybe.
But yeah, like when they had their shows at Akron U at the Student Union, they'd have 60, 70 vendors.
That's where I got my that show.
That was like it's just like even at those 60, 70 table shows, like the networking you can do there it's amazing.
And that's when Nike basketball and shoes was the absolute peak of its time.
And where the best place to buy LeBrons is in Akron because you're like that's where the St. Vincent St. Mary's PEs are going to be is in Akron.
Yeah.
And a lot of those shoes, especially the early ones, there's probably I know I sold those 7s for $860.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of
those LeBron samples go for a lot, don't they?
Dude,
there's plenty. We were just talking about the one earlier that's listed on eBay for $20,000.
$20,000 reverse extraterrestrial LeBron 10 sample.
Yeah, it was like a reverse of his All-Star shoe from what year would that have been?
Oh, dude.
7 years ago.
7 years ago, so like 2013.
2014.
It's an insane
2014.
shoe. Honestly, if you want to clip that and put it on, it is
right
insane.
Yeah,
it's probably
shoe.
the craziest
Nike
basketball
write down
shoe.
the name of the shoe on a post-it note for me.
Probably the craziest sample I've ever seen.
He'll send it to you.
You'll send me all right, just send me a picture of it or something so I can get it up here because I forget the shoe name.
Free advertising for the dude. You can honestly throw up his eBay listing because it's just seeing that number next to that shoe is insane.
That's crazy.
Granted, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, but to see that big of a number, this is the price in mind.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Shoes are crazy, man. You guys do clothes too, right?
Yeah.
So is that as worth it as shoes, or is it more of just something else to have alongside?
It all depends, honestly.
If you're doing vintage like him, and I'll let him get in a little bit of this, your profit margins are so big. It's just
well, it depends what you're doing. So the way I look at vintage, a lot of the turnaround on vintage is kind of weird because a lot of times you're buying pieces that only a few people would buy.
Mm-hmm.
So you your turnaround's not going to be as quick, but your profit margin on it is usually depending on the piece. There's times where you're doubling your money on a piece. Bigger if you personally thrift a lot, Like you can find
The girl I dated in high school did that with girls' clothes, and she would go in there and she'd just buy like she'd mainly stick to like jeans, you know.
Right.
She'd find the pair that was, you know, or like she'd find something that was Lululemon, or she'd find something that was a name brand and just resell it on Depop.
Yep, just flip it. And I mean, there's a lot of like small like vintage like resellers or like thrifters that just like flips stuff from thrifts.
330 Threads.
What's that?
Shout out 330 Threads.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Max
330. Yeah, 330 Threads is gonna
Bring
be
them
on
on.
here pretty soon. They'll be on here pretty soon.
Max and Joe?
I think so.
That'd be cool.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
That would definitely. I want to be
Dude,
here.
I like the 3-person setup. It like
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus like last time we were
sitting
this
different
way
too,
and we
yeah.
were both like looking at the camera, I believe.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean
more-
mainly talking to each other, but like
Yeah, but still, this setup's definitely better than the straight
Oh,
table.
I agree.
If that straight table feels like you're like at a ticket booth.
It's like more like if it's like two people, it's like confrontational. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if it's like
somewhat.
one-on-one, like across the table, it's like it doesn't seem as like this seems like we're just kicking it.
Yeah.
Like, so I definitely think a 3-person was a good
Yeah,
way to
the
go.
Oh,
a
great
3-person's
number.
always
Great
nice.
number.
It's always nice.
not that a 2-person's bad at all.
But I enjoy when I get the 3-person podcast.
Yeah.
They're fun. Shoot, what were we talking about before that? I lost it. Here, let me ask you guys a Dream Tour question. The question that I've been liking the most lately, one of the questions that I've kept, because now that I've dropped my question list and I'm just talking, is if you could have a superpower, what would it be? This question came after your episode, and
I think you asked me.
did I ask you that? I didn't know if the
I don't know.
superpower one came
I
on.
don't know.
But so if you could have a superpower or be like a superhero, like it doesn't have to be one superpower. If you just want to be like a superhero, what would you do?
No, I definitely think
You got
asked me
yours?
this. No, I'm thinking of like what I think I said last time.
I personally, I think read minds would be a good one.
Reading minds?
Yeah.
Do you
Who
really
can do
want to
that?
know what people are thinking?
Who can do
Yeah.
that though?
I don't know.
What X-Men?
Oh, dude, I know who. Oh, Xavier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He can do it.
My man's Charles. He's
Charles
right here.
Yeah. What would you do?
Do you know?
What you would?
No, not what I would do, but like, do you know yours?
I read minds.
He said
Oh.
reading minds. Would you really want that though? Would you really want to walk by someone and then someone just be thinking, "Fuck this guy"?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't.
His
I
beard
don't
looks
know.
like shit.
But they wouldn't think
You
that.
know. I don't know, dude. I'd like to fly.
That guy's walking around with his fly down.
I'd like to fly. That'd
Yeah,
be cool.
flying.
You can get
Flying would be
anywhere.
cool.
You can get anywhere.
That's the thing. Like if you
No
could
need for
fly
a
at like
car,
a high
bro.
rate of
I want
speed.
super speed. I want super speed because like I want to
But,
be able to run
like,
to
wouldn't you
Chicago,
get exhausted?
get a fresh deep dish.
No.
Well,
So-
if you got like super speed like the Flash, his super speed like makes it so he doesn't.
He's
get
jogging
tired.
normal time
Yeah.
for him. I don't know
That's
how
fair.
it
How it
works
necessarily-
scientifically, but like
Well,
your
apparently-
normal time, it's like a normal jog, but you're fucking gone, and you know
I want to fly too.
Flying would be pretty
Can I
lit.
fly?
you gotta
Read
pick one.
minds.
You gotta pick one or the other.
Well,
man.
it depends how fast can I fly.
I don't.
A
you-
solid speed, like
Like a
a car,
like as a plane.
like a car, not like a
no,
plane.
no, not
like
like
no
a plane.
like
That's
no 250 300 mile an hour.
no. I'm
Okay.
saying like
I want
60.
to run like a solid 500 miles an hour.
Nah,
like a
Bro.
cheetah. Or that's not 500, but like you want to like. don't even know
The
how
cheetah's
fast
not
it
even fast enough for me to catch.
See, the thing about flying though, like you get up to like 50 60 miles an hour, you gotta have like a shield because like when we were at razors and stuff like that, like you
Oh,
don't
it's-
have
yeah.
oh the stuff's hitting your face.
Oh, it's
Eating
horrible.
bugs.
60
Eating
mile an hour,
bugs,
that
especially when
hurts.
you're up in the air. Like
Oh
you'd
my
have
God.
to have some
straight
sort
up
of, like, mask
hit a
on.
swan.
Oh, dude,
bro. Run into like a bald eagle.
Oh shoot!
you're done.
Be like the most majestic thing.
Oh, it's the most American thing that's ever
just
happened.
you and a bald eagle collapsing.
Dying from flying into a bald eagle.
Oh my gosh!
At top speeds of
Yeah.
upwards to 80 miles.
That's
an
the
hour.
most American way to
firecrackers
die.
in
Oh.
your back pocket.
There's nothing else to it. Like that's it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, I love that question. It's just kind of fun to think about, like what makes a superpower cool to you? Like, I don't know, Spider-Man would be pretty dope. Just because, like, I don't know what's dope about him. Like, obviously, he's got so many cool powers.
Favorite superhero.
But like,
by
he's
far.
just his personality is just like
The person.
real.
Well, that's the thing.
It's real.
I feel like everybody loves Spider-Man just because of the personality of
He's
it.
goofy.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
I'm a Marvel nerd, so like I watched those documentaries on Disney Plus about like the making of it, and like Spider-Man was really like when Spider-Man was written, it was innovative in the superhero world because he wasn't Superman. He wasn't the strongest man in the world. He wasn't a billionaire. He was a loser teenager. Like he had 2 or 3 friends and couldn't get the girl he liked. Like like he wasn't cool. So like that was more relatable to more people. Yeah. Like not everyone's the coolest kid in their school or a billionaire.
And honestly, even like the kids who are the coolest kids in the school, they don't necessarily feel like it. And it's kind of nice for them to relate to someone who's like not that, like not even seen as that sometimes. Mm-hmm. So like just like Spider-Man's just like relatable.
He is. He's the best way to put it. Get with him. You can vibe with him. Yeah. Spider-Man feels like a guy you can kick it with, and you know. Oh yeah. You know.
All right, here's a question for you. Yeah, 3 people that you could have a beer with, dead or alive.
All right. Obviously, Joe Rogan.
I was gonna.
That's a good one.
I think Joe Rogan. One of the reasons I started this show is because I was such a huge Joe Rogan fan. Before I started the show, I was watching every episode. I don't have time now because I'm busy. But
it's a lot. Yeah, those 2 hours are fucking like.
Yeah, but I'll listen here and there to people that spike my interest. But like, I just liked how he has conversations. Like he actually he prizes stuff. He gets some interesting stuff out. No matter if he's talking to a comedian, rapper who dropped out of high school, or a PhD scientist, he still has interesting questions. And I want to know what he's got to say.
Sorry to cut you off, but like one of the things I love about Joe Rogan is like, actually I think I saw this in a TED Talk initially, but like he like every person that you meet, like if you look at every person you meet and treat them like there's something very interesting about them, like you will have so much more amusing conversations with that person. Yeah. And honestly, you're so much more likable too. And Joe Rogan is so likable because he just like he finds interest in like all types of people.
He kicks it off with anybody that comes on that show.
He just wants
I don't care who
he just
it is
wants
or what
to
they
know, like more. He had a little like disagreement with Stephen A. Smith on an episode. It was pretty funny because he didn't like because Stephen A. Smith was talking about fighting, and you know, you were a wrestler,
right?
And I don't know if you're into fighting at all, but no. Stephen A. Smith talks basketball, so like in football and other sports, you know. So when he talks it, he's like, it was this guy's fault. He messed it up. But if you say that about a fighter who just lost a fight, like you don't in fighting you don't say this guy sucked. You say this guy was killing it. And because in a fight it's different. You don't bash the guy who just got his face beat in. Yeah. And Joe Rogan was like, I don't mess with how you're talking about that, and it was interesting.
Just to see, like,
yeah, I mean, and he didn't even get mad about it either, though. He was just like, "This."
I disagree with that.
Yeah, he was just like, "This isn't how we talk about that in this sport," you know.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I just wanted to watch it though because it's like a commentator talking to a commentator. But 2 more beers.
Or we can go one at a time.
Yeah. Give us a beer. Who are you having a beer with?
I do Jesus.
Beer with Jesus,
dude. Oh, you said dead or alive?
Yeah, dead or alive, dude. All the things that guy's been through, I would 100% have a beer with Jesus. And honestly, like, I'm not a super religious person, but I'm kind of like I'm a spiritual person, mm-hmm. And like honestly, I think it would just be intriguing to like talk to the guy that everybody is so like infatuated with. Because you think about it, like, I mean, like everybody loves a lot of different athletes and stuff, but like, there's not one person who's more universally loved than Jesus. So I think
what kind of beer would you drink with Jesus? If you spew some,
dude, I'll tell you what, Zeus Juice IPA from Fatheads.
I can't.
To 10% IPA, dude. That stuff was just like.
Wait, you said you were looking into doing a podcast. You interested in doing like a short beer tasting podcast when I turn 21? Like once a week we taste an IPA?
Yeah, that would be sick.
Like
special episode of the week, like every Friday or something?
They could be like 10 minutes. We could sip down a beer, talk about what we like about it, and then put that out. Just because I know people want to know what's a good IPA, and they only want to hear a couple minutes about what's a good IPA. And
honestly, like I used to, like when I started drinking, like I would not drink beer at all just because like before I was 21, someone let me try a Bud Light, and I'm like, this shit is disgusting. so like if I was drinking like I'll mix like some whiskey or Mountain Dew or something. But like I once I started going to like the bars and stuff, I'm like, all right, like I can drink some stuff. And then I started trying IPAs. Actually, the first time I actually had an IPA was up at Fatheads when I went and I got like their sampler, and they got a lot of good stuff.
I'm not a big IPA guy. I can respect them, but
it's
like,
well the
they're
thing
just
is
gross.
in my
I can respect them, but they're...
in my opinion, like you have to. I get more out of drinking when I do like drink a variety of things. Like I don't understand the person.
You like the tasting?
Yeah, I don't like quite understand like how like someone can drink the same thing like every week and only that. I'm like I want to switch it up a little bit.
I can eat.
It's
I
never
could
like
eat,
that
I
with
could
the
eat
JTS
pizza.
Brown, though.
I could eat pizza once a day every day for the rest of my life, just because like I find comfort in pizza, man.
It's
like,
good.
That's my
I feel like a
comfort.
lot of people do. I don't know. Pizza is like
say old
huge.
people?
I said a lot of
Old people love pizza. All right, who are you having a beer with?
Dude, I don't.
I can't even get the first one.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Dude, my next beer, I'm going to go opposite of you, man. I don't know if I really want to do this, but like, what if I could have like a beer with like...
He's going to say it.
I'm thinking between Stalin and Hitler.
That's what you fucking
I was thinking
No.
between Stalin and Hitler, so I could be like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, what makes this person... Stalin killed 10 million people, Hitler killed 6. Like, I guess I don't want to have a beer with them, though. I guess I kind of just want to be like...
Kind of like, what the...
I guess I want to,
what
like...
the fuck is wrong with you?
Nah, for my second beer, I guess I'm going to go Thomas Jefferson.
That's a good one.
Thomas Jefferson says some interesting stuff. And I just watched what's National Treasure, and they were reading those Silence Dogood letters that like he secretly wrote or whatever, and I was like, this is so interesting. He's an interesting guy.
So this one's a curveball. I think I actually talked to you about him the other day, but Norm Macdonald is probably my next one.
Norm Macdonald.
He was on SNL like
Oh,
in the
yes.
90s. Yeah, he did like the weekend updates and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know why. I'm just like it's like comedy comes so easy for him. Like he's one of like the people that I really look up to in life. And he's not like it's not like he's anything like crazy. He's just like he's kind of a normal guy who's just funny.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of like I mean you look at like a lot of like the famous comedians like Kevin Hart, and I like Joe Rogan, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like Norm Macdonald's a little more interesting because he's like
comedy's...
not as popular. Like I feel like I'm buddies with Joe Rogan already because I watch his podcast. Like I feel like I know Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
But
that's a good point. You do feel like you know him.
yeah, because like and he does such a good job of that of just making you feel like it almost feels like you're in the room with them.
Yeah.
And that's like the best podcasts, the ones where like you actually feel involved in the conversation.
Yeah. Beer number 2.
Will Ferrell.
That's a
Will
great
Ferrell.
one.
That's a
That's
great
a,
one.
that's
He was-
I got it now. I just thought of my third, but like Will Ferrell is just like so iconic in the movie industry, and also another SNL guy.
Yeah.
Like it's just you can't argue the fact that dude is absolutely hilarious.
Will
and to
Ferrell
just
is hilarious.
Have a beer with him. It's like I feel like that would be
Dude,
mind blowing, and it'd be hilarious.
Will Ferrell, like, oh my gosh, say some off the wall stuff
Oh.
like that. Dude,
Dude,
I
his
loved
Super Bowl
it.
commercial was hilarious. Like
Was it? That was before I got there, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah. Man, that was a day. I drove 6.5 hours from Philly that
Yeah.
day, straight to your house to watch the Super Bowl. Only caught the second half, but man, dude, I was beat that day. But oh yeah, this is the first episode back in Akron since they did the 2 Philly episodes.
Shoot.
Dude, you did. Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, I posted Jay Hustle and Bonnie. Jay Hustle was a rapper from Philly, and Bonnie is a rapper and entrepreneur. They're both, I guess, they're both entrepreneurs because Jay Hustle's producing a lot. He's running his own management and stuff as well. But Bonnie does stuff Bonnie does she can hook you up with articles like if you want an article posted on a big name blog, she can get you the connect that they'll write an article about you.
Wow. Power laced. Head of New York Times. You can make it happen, dude.
So who's your third?
Man, I just had it, but
I'm so up in the air. I just thought of so many people for my third. Like I don't.
yeah.
It's gonna be tough for me to pick one now.
Who do I want to have a beer with? Man, there's so many people.
I know. The more you think about it, the more people are like, yeah, I definitely like. I really like Kanye. I feel like having a beer with Kanye would be cool.
Dude,
be
he's
interesting.
so weird though.
But he's like,
I would.
well,
No,
I don't think
Kanye's
honestly,
that weird. I personally don't think he's that weird. I think I think he's more normal than your average celebrity, and that's why he seems weird, because he doesn't always know what he's gonna say before it comes out his mouth. I don't always know what I'm gonna say before it comes out my mouth. I don't have someone telling me what I'm gonna say. And these other celebrities, they feel scripted. Like they feel they're just living their brand, you know. And he's just being him. His brand is him. He built his brand about being himself. And I don't know. I like Kanye.
Don't worry about this.
I don't even listen to that much Kanye music, but I just think he's interesting.
He's actually, I was watching, so I don't know if you've ever heard of Flagrant 2, but it's like Andrew Schultz and another comedian, Akash, I forget his last name, but like it's their podcast.
Okay.
And I was watching it the other day, and they were talking about
You can run to the bathroom. Oh my god.
But no, they were talking about Kanye and how like Kanye's the only person where like you can be a suburban white kid and listen to Kanye in the car and like bump with it, and like you can play Kanye in the club and bump with it, and you can play Kanye in the hood and bump with it. Like he really crosses all boundaries.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really like. I mean, and honestly, he's always been super controversial. Like sometimes you don't know what the hell he's gonna do next. But I don't know. I really like Kanye, and I mean I'm into fashion, and like I feel like Kanye is like one of those people who's like super influential in fashion. Like I could be like, hey Kanye, like wear my merch, like.
I just think he's interesting. Dude. Like he's such an interesting dude.
Yeah, but he's
Elon Musk. That's my third beer. Sorry.
Elon's a good one. Yeah, definitely. I feel like Elon's he's a lot like Kanye, honestly.
Yeah, they're so out there.
That's
what I want that podcast. I want Kanye West right here and Elon Musk right here.
And Joe
12
Rogan.
rack of beers. No, just those two in a 12 beers, and just see how it goes.
God, yeah. I'll tell you what.
What you missed while I was gone was I said Elon for my third beer. Before he goes to Mars and leaves us all and becomes supreme ruler of another planet.
What happened?
It's
Elon, you know.
It's so hard for me to say a third for sure.
You didn't go?
No, I didn't.
I just said this guy.
Okay. I just got Elon. We were talking about Kanye. I don't know if I could pick Kanye.
I don't know. He'd be so interesting.
I just feel like there's so many people.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I got mine.
Go ahead.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
You're a Tom Brady fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
After watching that video, the trader
with him stumbling out, dude. I tried to hang with.
I do not like Tom Brady, but I respect Tom Brady.
Oh, he
is the second best quarterback since Joe Montana.
Who's the best?
Joe Montana.
Well, you said second best since Joe Montana.
Or he's the second best. Okay, besides Joe Montana, I'm gonna say Joe Montana's the best.
That's fair. I don't know enough about older football to really judge that.
I don't know a crazy amount, but like we had to write a report about a person that was interesting and like in grade school, and mine was Joe Montana. So like I learned a little bit about him, and like my dad has always said Joe Montana's the best quarterback. So it's just one of those.
I did a report on good old Honest Abe.
You did a report on Abe?
I did.
You know some Abe facts for us?
Dude, that
he wrestled.
He was huge, too.
He was like 6'4".
Yeah, he was 6'4" in a time when like 5'6" was the average man.
Yeah. He did wrestle.
I was thinking about Abe for my last one, because that's probably one of like the most influential presidents.
You could use that.
I don't know if I want to, though. I feel like there's another person.
I care more. Like, honestly, the reason I only picked one old person is because, like, their time has passed. We know all about what happened. We know how they solved their problems already.
But just to be able to be next to them and sip that one beer.
Sip that one beer.
That one beer.
Just have a casual conversation.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just because I Tiger Woods is my last one, just because he when I was growing up, Tiger Woods was my idol, and like the whole thing with his accident the other day. Tiger Woods has been through a lot of shit too.
Accident?
Huh?
What did you just say?
It was an accident.
What was an accident?
You didn't see Tiger Woods roll off the highway?
No.
Oh, you guys didn't see this?
Oh my gosh,
no.
This is news.
Yeah, it was down in L.A. or like in California somewhere. He was driving like one of their company cars, and he It was a 1-car accident. Went off the highway, like rolled the car. They had to cut out the bottom of the car to get him out. Dude.
What?
Bro, I
What
was
do you
like,
think was
I
going
was
on in that
scared.
guy's head?
I was scared to death, dude. I love Tiger. Like I was like on the verge. I'm like, dude, if it comes out that Tiger died, like I'm gonna cry.
Do you have a man crush on him?
No,
I
dude.
feel
Like
you do.
I was literally like when I was growing up, like people were like, "Oh, it's little Tiger Woods." Like,
To you?
Yeah, I played golf like crazy when I was younger, like 4 or 5 years
Were
old.
you
I was-
swinging like Tiger?
I mean, for being 5 years old, I was pretty sufficient.
How nice are you at golf right now?
I mean, I played two semesters ago. I played Kent Tusk.
Mhm.
It was like USCAA. It wasn't anything like wildly competitive.
That's
But,
more
like,
competitive
I-
than me and
than
my brother going to the
Top
$12
Golf
the $12
or-
golf course right here.
Right.
Yeah,
the
like
back nine.
it's I definitely like I love golf. I've just never taken it seriously enough, I guess. It's one of those things like I enjoy it too much. I kind of just want to keep enjoying
Keep it as a hobby.
Yeah, but I definitely like it's one of those things like golf is something that I always feel like I can get better at. Like I never feel like I've I've peaked. Like I always feel like there's always something new to work on.
Yeah.
So it's one of the, like once I'm at a point in life where I can afford to like golf consistently, I feel like I definitely will. I'll probably play 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And
It's an
honestly,
old man sport.
yeah, and like honestly, like I've tried
Okay.
throughout, like even through high school and stuff, like just as practice, I try to play golf quite a bit, and it's just relieving to me. It's nice. It's nice to get out.
I love getting out on the golf course.
And-
It's a great way to spend an afternoon.
And honestly, like it's just like I usually walk too because I'm cheap and I don't like paying the cart fees. So like I'll go walk 18 holes, and honestly, it's just like a super peaceful experience.
But he
Yeah.
has 370 pairs of shoes in stock. But, you know.
I'm cheap.
I'm
And he-
I'm 100% cheap. Like
No. That's
fair.
I feel like
No, yeah.
entrepreneurs in general are like they're like, man, I cannot get that $5 biggie bag. I'm going with the 4 for $4. But
Dude, that's
you
what
know,
I do.
But it's like
I get the 4 for $4 and then I upgrade it to a medium. Because like it's a good deal. It's only 60 cents more. You pay $4.60, you get a medium drink and a medium fry. It's like,
see.
bro,
Wait, did you see my story about the price per nug? There is a scandal going on at McDonald's, man.
Dude, I don't eat there in general, so I mean,
All right, man.
whatever the scandal is, I'll hear it, but like it doesn't
This
affect me.
this
like-
destroys my world. I don't eat. I guess.
No,
I never go to McDonald's, but here and there. But I'm like a Sunday guy. I'll pull through for a Sunday or a sweet tea, but that's about it.
They're sweet teas, man.
They're guys. They
hot
are.
chocolate.
Really?
McDonald's hot chocolate.
Really?
Yes.
I've
I've
worked
never
at
even
Starbucks,
heard of that. I don't
so,
think.
like,
It's kind of pricey, but it's great.
What's pricey?
like $3.54?
That's right around what Starbucks is.
Yeah, but it's better than Starbucks. Like I
That's
swear.
a
swear,
hot
dude.
take.
But Starbucks has all like the fancy hot chocolates. You can get like white hot chocolate and like,
Yes.
a bunch of different stuff. But like
Just
McDonald's hot
plain-
chocolate, that's my go-to.
I work at
dude.
Starbucks, and I don't think our straight just mocha sauce and steamed milk. That hot chocolate is definitely not as good as when we used to have it. It had vanilla and chocolate in it, and it was gas.
Can you make it the vanilla?
Yeah, I
and
can.
stuff?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's for 60 cents. I can put whatever other sauce you want in a thing.
We're gonna have to go to Starbucks and get some hot
Dude,
chocolate.
or McDonald's at this point. Like that's
Bro,
like the first time
McDonald's
I'll pull in a
great.
drive-through since like freshman year. Like
Really?
And
oh wait,
it's,
but the scandal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no matter how many nuggets you buy, right? So the 4-piece is like whatever price per nug, right? If you buy a 6-piece, a 10-piece, a 20-piece, or like whatever, if sometimes they have like you can get more than that, like 40 or 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
No matter what, the 4-piece is still the lowest price per nug. They go up from there.
really?
They don't go down. You know, it doesn't get cheaper the more nuggets you buy. Because no one's gonna sit there with their calculator. Because it's too much pressure. The person's talking to you
Bro.
through the box.
I'm gonna tell them to hold
low-key a
on.
finesse.
They just
I'm gonna tell them to hold on and do this math. The one
No,
time.
no,
when
no,
I get
just-
my hot chocolate,
dude, it's cheaper to get 3 4-pieces and get 12 nuggets than a 10-piece.
it's cheaper to get a 12-piece by getting 3 4s than an actual 10.
Mm-hmm. Scandal. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I never-
someone
But
made a
then again,
TikTok
I've
about
never
it.
ordered a 10-piece nugget from McDonald's. I don't think.
Neither have I.
I've got a 10-piece from Wendy's.
I get that.
Oh.
I get that ranch snack wrap or whatever it's called.
They don't
The
have that
chicken
anymore,
ranch?
do they?
No, they don't. I'm
The
kinda
crispy
sad
chicken
about it. I'm,
snack
like, low-key
wrap?
hurt. Yeah.
I stopped.
That's what I got, bro.
I
When
stopped
I was a
going through
kid, I
McDonald's
was
and-
growing up on them. Now I haven't touched it, but
See,
like,
that's what like in high school. That's what I would eat. I'd get the snack wraps. It's like a $7 meal. It's pretty
the
sufficient.
2.
Yeah, 2 snack wraps, a
Yeah.
fry, and the drink was like $7, and like that's
Not a
pretty
bad deal.
fair for a meal.
Yeah.
When they took the McChicken from $1 to $1.50 my senior year, I boycotted. I was done with that.
Again, that was my
yeah.
freshman year, right?
No, my senior year would have been your sophomore year.
Okay, so maybe sophomore year I haven't eaten McDonald's. But
Yeah, but when they took that away, like I was like, dang, I'm done.
Because I remember on our way home from Indiana, dude, we had the chicken sandwiches was my shit.
Mm-hmm.
On our way home from Indiana, I took 8 to the head. after making weight and after the tournament.
Oh yeah.
We stopped at the McDonald's and David was there too.
Yeah.
We both ate them. We both ate 8 or 7 or 8. It was ridiculous.
One time, me, Weimer, and David just scrounged up every quarter we had, and like I don't even think any of us could drive yet. Like one of our parents drove us to McDonald's. Like
They're not buying that shit for you.
Yeah, well, they totally would have, but like we like literally were like, you know, this is all the change from all the stuff we've done for the past few weeks. So we all were able to get like, you know, $3 or $4, maybe $5, and we came back with like I want to say like we had 16 or 18 McChickens. We just as many McChickens as we can get with these quarters.
I'll tell you, my best fast food experience was when I played golf at Kent. We did you had like every time after we played, we go to get food, and you had like a set budget, and dude, like just like being able to spend like $13 at a Wendy's and just buy shit that you don't need.
Yes.
Like,
It's so
it's exciting. You'll never get that experience.
Yeah, it's
again.
like I think they had like a cookie with ice cream and like fudge on it, and I'm like,
ice cream.
yeah, it was I think it was like an
Frosty.
Yeah, it was. I don't even remember, dude. It was goofy, but it was like $3.50, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll try that. Try to spend that money at a fast food place.
Like when I went to DC my 8th grade year, we walked into McDonald's for like lunch, you know, and they're like $10 bill to every kid.
Yeah.
You know, they gave every kid a $10 bill, and I'm like, I get 2 McChickens. Hell am I gonna do with this $8?
Pocket.
Oh,
Did
no.
you?
Oh no, man! I got a sundae.
Oh. You
got
got
a
it
tea.
all.
Yeah.
And then you hand back the change. Like, here's that.
No, I think you get the pocket the change because you get to go shopping and they give you another 20.
Oh,
you know?
Oh wow.
living.
Yeah. Well, your parents totally gave them that money.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
110%.
Just like the charity case.
I bet like what you said 8th grade was it?
Yeah, 7th or 8th grade. 8th grade.
Did
yeah.
you know your parents gave you that, or was it like?
Or
Did you think it was
totally.
teacher?
I totally. My parents like they definitely were like, yeah, we have to pay for this DC trip. You know, I knew they paid for the DC trip, and I knew that
You didn't think your teachers were like,
Guapping,
Yeah.
giving each kid a $10
No,
bill.
8th grade, I was old enough to know that I brought in a check 3 days before the trip, like 10 days after the check was due.
I would always
Because
want.
the check was
Same
in my
thing.
backpack the whole time. I
Yeah.
just didn't feel like it. You
No.
know? Dude, oh my gosh.
it's just like took someone to tell you again, like, oh yeah, I actually have that with me right now.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Lucas, you haven't turned in your check. Do you even want to go to DC? I was like, oh, yeah, it's been in my backpack all week.
Sorry, dude, that's how I was.
I'm
not gonna
I'm
lie.
that way with
I
homework.
feel like a lot of I mean,
Just
I was like that too.
laziness.
Yeah, it's just like lax. Like I mean,
It's you don't have that passion for it, you know?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care.
it just doesn't matter.
If someone sends me a shirt order, you know, on Monday, I'm gonna go make up a mock-up, and I'm a send them, be like, hey, is this cool? Does this look good? You want to order it now? You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quick on that. But if you tell me to write an essay, I'm gonna be like,
When's it due?
when's it due? And then when do I get a 0? Because I'm gonna turn it in sometime between those two.
Yeah. Like when can I be like, oh yeah, sorry, I thought I sent it, and then still turn it in?
How many ants can die before I can for my college essays? You know, there's so many kids I know that'd be like, yeah, I had an uncle pass away.
That's horrible.
I've never done it personally,
No, I
but,
know,
like,
but like
I've definitely seen
you
people be
can't
like
do
that.
that.
Oh yeah, you can.
That's bad.
You can, dude. I know people that are like, dude, you can do it twice in every class. You can just email your professor and be like, hey, my uncle passed away. I got to take this exam next. It's exams on Friday. I got to take this exam on Monday. I'm going home. Though.
twice in every class.
Yeah, because
This is other people's words.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, but
Wow.
they said you could. I don't know if they did, but
well, somebody had to have.
like
done it
the
twice to say you
in
maybe.
college, professors don't communicate with each other.
No, they
Each-
do.
It depends. It depends.
At Kent Stark, they do.
Yeah, but you know, if you are emailing your professor that's teaching your math class and your business class, they don't even know each other.
No.
Yeah, but like the professors in the same area.
Yeah,
the
professors that chat. Yeah, but I'm assuming.
Not that I'd ever do this, but like maybe I'm so serious because it's so bad. Maybe they use that same excuse for,
on the same day.
The same teacher, so it's not like my grandma, my aunt, my sister, my cousin, and then they all get together and it's like, dude, what happened? Like,
did this whole family die in a bus crash?
Yeah.
Whereas
they use
RV.
the same relative, but for a different,
different
I don't know
day?
why I'm. Yeah.
No.
Like,
it's
a
kind
different
of fun to
assignment.
pick that apart. Yeah, but someone said that like probably my second week of college. They're like, man, dude, first time I don't want to do an assignment, I'm saying some uncle died. Just email the professor.
Oh, this is the thing. You don't plan on doing that. Like that's like I need an
Shit,
excuse.
it's due like right now.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd go dog before I'd go anything. Before I said some
My
person.
dog died?
Yeah.
Your teacher's gonna be like, I don't care. Come to
Yeah.
class.
I don't know. I've seen people be like, I have a migraine. And you can.
I get migraines too, and I've said like I get migraines. Like I have a migraine today.
Not
Like
taking this exam,
I can't.
yeah.
Oh, I can't take this class. Or actually, I think I have asked to take an exam a day later because I had a migraine.
Yeah.
But like I legitimately had a migraine.
Yeah,
like,
I've never had a
"Can I
migraine, but
please
I've
do
seen
this?"
like there's a lot of things that people can say though. Like you could say you have a migraine, that's really believable. Like
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can doll that up as
Well,
much
actually,
as you want.
did you know you can get a window tint prescription if you get migraines?
really,
Yeah.
Really?
Prescription for window tint.
dude. If I just had
I'm cool with my
migraines
doctor,
and didn't wreck
bro.
my car this week,
Yeah, that's unfortunate, bro. All right, so who is at fault for that?
oh, it's totally
Technically.
me. Yeah, totally me.
It's totally-
No, just because I was turning, so it's always the person who's turning.
That's fair.
So I didn't get like a ticket or anything, but my car's pretty messed up.
And you had to give up your
Did it
insurance
get
card.
totaled?
We don't know just yet. It happened so soon. We're still waiting on the call from the insurance company. He's going out to check it out.
Well,
Most
if
likely.
it is total, what are you gonna buy next?
Dude, I don't even know. I haven't even thought.
You gonna buy
Ritz.
a Ritz?
Ritz.
Yeah.
His Buick.
Oh,
Buick
Got a nice
Lucerne.
Buick, Yeah.
dude.
It's definitely a
With the
grandpa
vinyl
car.
top.
It does have a vinyl top.
It's-
Dude.
it's
It's
a-
such an old man car, but like
It's so good. It's
you drive in Tacoma.
this is-
We're
no,
not
this is the
too
thing.
far off. I mean,
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Well, my Tacoma's
Yeah.
got a lift kit.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I could lift kit the Buick if I wanted to.
Would you lift
Absolutely
kit a Buick?
not.
I don't know anything about cars. I drove
Absolutely
a Toyota
not.
Corolla, and I loved it
Which
because
is a good car.
it Bluetoothed. That's all that
Oh,
I cared
that's
about.
lovely.
That's all that I cared about.
My
It
Tacoma
Bluetoothed
isn't
and was good
Bluetooth.
on gas.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah, my Tacoma is good on
first
gas.
generation 1940s.
It's 2007 actually.
1940s. Dude, that'd be dope to like drive a 1940s car.
I saw an
I-
old Ford the other day driving, and it was fucking clean, dude.
Dude,
Clean.
I want honestly like I've been telling you I want a early '90s BMW wagon to daily.
the wagon.
dude, there's one car that I dream of, and it is the 1991 Nissan Skyline GTR
Oh.
from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
If I ever made millions and millions of dollars and I wanted to buy something crazy, it would be that GTR.
Yeah, those aren't even that expensive.
They're not
too.
crazy. They're like 70,000.
Yeah,
But if you want it to look like the one from the movie, it gets pricey.
yeah. That's the thing. As soon as you start modding cars, is when everything gets expensive, and then stuff breaks, and it's even more expensive to fix because it's modded.
Yeah. Dude, I just like exact paint job, just feel like Paul Walker.
That would have been a good one. For
Oh,
have a beer
dude.
with Paul Walker.
Who
I
was
don't
your-
know what his
Who
personality
was your
was
last
like.
one?
Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, or Thomas Jefferson. If you guys are watching, come on the podcast.
Hey, I got a seat right next to him.
Thomas Jefferson calls me up.
I didn't even catch that. That's for that.
It's gonna be real sus when you get a phone call at like
From
midnight
Thomas
tonight
Jefferson.
and there's just nothing. Like it's like, is this Thomas Jefferson?
Dude, I swear someone put my phone number in some bullcrap. I've been getting a stupid call every 10 minutes the past 3 days, and I can't handle
Is
it.
it about your car's extended warranty?
Yes.
Dude, I get that shit
Oh,
too
my.
much.
Like,
It
my car
freaks
doesn't
me
have
out,
a
dude.
warranty.
Like, bro, it's a
I bought my
2007.
car outright. Like,
I don't even have a car.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
No, dude. Before I had it, like when my last car it broke down on my way home for Thanksgiving break, like sophomore year of college, and I went back to school without a car, which wasn't a big deal because you're on campus, you're just walking around. And then when I came back from school, it took me 4 or 5 months to get a car that I really thought was gonna last me for a few years, but you know.
You go to Ohio State?
I went to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, okay.
Yeah, my brother goes to Ohio State.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, but but that car broke down, and in that 4 months when I was still didn't have a car, I'd still get calls about my car's warranty or my car insurance plan. I was like, I don't even have. Why would I have? What? This
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, who is giving out my number to these telemarketers?
I don't know. It's a daily thing
it's
at this
probably
point.
me. It's probably me.
I have 4 vehicles, or not 5 vehicles right now, and the newest one is a 2007, and I still get the calls about my car's extended warranty.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
I mean, I know it's a Toyota, but like, I don't think it has a warranty still.
Relax. Like,
Jeez.
14 years down the line, it's
How extended is this warranty?
yeah. Like, am I gonna be getting these calls like 5 years from now? Is it like in an unlimited extended?
It's like this thing's considered a classic now. I don't even have to take through e-check, but it's still under warranty.
Yeah.
So there's one more thing I did want to ask you guys about, because in that chat today, in my Instagram chat today, someone came in and they told us about one of the other people in the group being a scammer. What is it like for you guys dealing with scammers? Is it hard to weed out who's trying to sell fake shoes?
You can get a vibe off of the person, like fake references on their page, and like if they have X amount of followers, and I'm not gonna say it, it's a famous, I would say famous from Cleveland area, who has like 100,000 followers but gets like 30 likes on his post. It's like at that point, like you kind of know,
Mm-hmm.
but like when it happens, like it's always best to pay through PayPal, because like you can always file disputes, and like
Yeah.
you're almost
Shout out Elon
guaranteed.
Musk again.
Yeah, you're almost guaranteed to get your money back, and it's like it could happen out of the blue.
And PayPal almost always sides with the buyer,
yeah,
so
Yeah.
you're pretty safe going through PayPal.
The one I know, some things that sucks about being a seller, if like you want to use Venmo, is someone can call and be like, someone stole my card, and they'll cancel that day's transaction.
At the end of the day, that's just the cost of doing business, in my opinion. Like, you're gonna have the people who are scammers, and you just kind of have to write that off. Like, you can't spend all of your time for a week trying to chase back that $200 where you can be making that back elsewhere. So it's
That's a
one
good
of
way
the,
to look at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things like. For me personally, like I've done business with a lot of people. If somebody has a reference from someone that I personally know and trust really well, I usually just kind of like send the money.
Yeah.
And another thing too, like they do like a lot of like resellers do reference pages. So like you can tell like if somebody has
A botted account with
you can have just like random pages that are references that are like, none of these people sell shoes. But if it's like other resell pages and stuff like that, like usually you can get a good idea of like if somebody has like 10 references in the past 3 weeks, but then they have a gap, like a 30-month gap, or like not 30, a 30-week gap back to the like last reference, like that usually raises a red flag. Like gaps in references, which
I would
But
have
also,
a gap
if you're
in my
if you're a
reference.
smaller person, like you probably don't even get that many references.
Yeah.
Oh, but the thing is, if you're a smaller person, like, and you want to buy or sell, like, you are sending the money first. So that's just how it goes.
It's kind of
Until you build your way up to that point, like, there is no like. As a smaller person, a smaller account, you have to take in the.
And a lot of times you can ask, like, you can just ask someone, like, would you be willing to do this transaction through PayPal? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, like, I'll do it through PayPal.
Because
then
then
you kind of understand, like, oh, yeah, like, they actually have the shoe. They're probably going to send it to me. Like, I'm probably good to send them the money, like, through Zelle or whatever.
Yeah.
But-
Okay. That's interesting. I always wondered how people dealt with that.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
People get scammed every day. That's what I like. And honestly, I actually had I had a guy from Pennsylvania scam me, and I sent him money through Venmo, didn't send me the shoes. So, and then it ended up being he was scamming a lot of people. Well, it was like a group, I think it was a group of his buddies put together an Instagram group or like his family or something, and they were sending back people their money in like payments, and I actually got all the money back like
Wow.
a year later.
Great people.
What?
Shout out
Yes.
those
How
people.
did they know?
So what happened was somebody like went to the police department, and the kid was in high school. So like somebody ended up contacting his high school, and then someone else went through the police department, and like they got like he like his mom found out about it, and then like his mom was paying these kids back to pay us back. I think is how it was. So
Wow.
yeah, we ended up getting paid back, and I was like, I could not believe it.
How much was it?
$235 per.
How many people did he do that to, though? That's what you gotta think.
There was like between. Actually, no, mine was more than that because I bought 2 pairs. I think it was
Like 5 or something?
230. Yeah, it was like $460, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there was probably like 15 to 20 people that he scammed.
Oh my gosh.
And quick too, because what he did is like when Frozen Yellow Yeezys came out, he said they're sitting at my mall. I'll just basically like proxy pairs, $230 shipped. He lives in PA, no sales tax. So $230 shipped. I'm like, yeah, I'll grab 2 of them because they were selling at like $300. Like,
Yeah.
I figured I could sell like 2 pairs locally. Send them the money. Never heard back from them. They give you like the, like, oh yeah, like I'll have them shipped out tomorrow. Sorry, my mom's car had a flat tire or whatever, like all that stuff. And then it just gets to a point where like he just stopped responding.
Yeah.
So
I feel like if you're gonna scam someone, just instant block once you get the money. I feel like that just makes the most sense.
The thing is, then you might be able to like call Venmo and be like, hey, like, yeah, I just accidentally sent this money. Like, can you make sure you reverse the transaction? But if you wait 5-6 days, then you kind of like
It's too late. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And plus, Venmo doesn't provide any purchase protection, so like technically, you're not like. I mean, if you send money through Venmo, you're not supposed to be able to get it back.
I know people who have, though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My dad sold some T-shirts, like a huge order of T-shirts one time, and I don't even think it was T-shirts. I think it was like uniforms for a sports team because he does uniforms too.
Yeah.
And so, it's this whole team's uniforms, and uniforms are pretty expensive. And he took the Venmo. It was like the first time he ever used Venmo too.
Yeah.
And the guy called Venmo and said, "Hey, someone stole my card. That wasn't me."
Free jerseys.
Yeah.
That's a finesse.
Just some kids baseball jerseys, real something you need to scam people over.
Yeah, that'll teach the kids well.
Oh my God. No, but my sister bought some fake Cactus Jacks.
Dude.
You checked them out.
I
didn't
did.
you?
I
You're the one who
did. I
figured it
saw
out.
that. And then that kid still has me blocked because I called him out on his shit. StockX, all of the hang tags come on one shoe. I think it's the left shoe.
Okay.
And I noticed 2 out of the 3 pairs he had. First off, he had dead stock MCAs.
Wait, what's the kid's
East Bay
Instagram?
Tay.
Sorry,
I'm calling him out.
Let's not name drop anyone. Let's not call anyone
All right,
out.
are we?
But this person, yeah, no, let's not
you
name
just
drop
bleep.
it.
You could just bleep it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bleep that out. So yeah. Anyway, out of the 3 pairs he had dead stock MCAs, dead stock Trav ones, and then what was the pair that your sister?
I
You don't even know.
Yeah.
It was
It was a
another
pair of
Trav. It was another Trav.
4s or 6s?
I can run them down after we're done with this podcast. here in
I
a
know.
couple
I
minutes.
know. It was a Trav one and then an MCA.
Okay.
And then
I'll bring them down.
dunks. They were.
Yeah.
They're here.
Yeah, I'll bring them down.
They're
I'll bring them
Travis
down
Scott
after the
dunks.
podcast.
That's what they were. And anyway,
She bought Cactus Jack.
I called him out on it.
Damn, her sister seems pretty cool.
I called him out on it on Instagram, and he blocked me like right away. And it's like you look at his whole
That's how you
page,
know.
and he's all dripped out in like all these crazy expensive shoes, like $1,000 shoes here,
They're probably
Off-White
fake, too.
Chicago's here, you know, and then there was tags on the left shoe and then the right shoe, and I'm like something is off here.
Yeah.
And then I got pictures. I sent this dude I met in Indiana, because he had MCAs at that point. And I'm like, yeah, send me pictures of them before I like called him out for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent those pictures to the dude who I knew who had a pair, legit, and it was way off.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
It was,
Well, at least
wow.
he's sending you pictures of the actual shoe.
Yeah,
Because
not-
he could have sent you pictures of a real shoe
Oh,
and
yeah.
then just give you a fake when he goes to meet up with you.
Yeah.
Like there's
Oh,
people
wow.
that finesse, and then like another thing that I don't know anyone who's done this, but I could definitely see it happening is like when you win a shoe on sneakers from Nike, like you have the receipt saying you bought the shoes.
Order a
Well,
fake
you could
pair.
sell that shoe and then order a fake pair in the same size and be like, yeah, here's my receipt. So like even shoes that
That's
have the
a-
receipt, you can't even
That's
trust
a
it now.
finesse.
Wow.
That is a finesse. I haven't even thought about that. Oh yeah, bro. Here,
Like
sneakers,
someone
you know.
brought in when I was at Shoe Dojo. Somebody brought in off-white
Chicago's?
Chicago's,
Yep, I remember you
size
telling me
8, and
about
I'm
this.
like, this shoe is sussing me out. Sent it through check.
Pass.
Check came back as pass, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I can't
I can't buy
can't
this.
spend $4,000 on the shoe. I'm sorry. Like I just like
It's too much.
It's too.
And you'll never see him again.
Oh no.
Ever.
And now looking back, and I'm like, should I have taken that risk? Because I probably could have made. I mean, I think he was gonna sell me for $3,500. I probably could have made like a cool $500 like quick.
At least, yeah.
And I couldn't do it because I'm like the risk is so big right now.
Especially when a shoe like that much money, man. It's like, why would you tie that? You know how many pairs you could buy for $3,500, dude?
$3,500. Like I bought that.
You buy a collection. Somebody's small.
I've bought collections for.
Less
I
than
bought
that.
I bought a collection for $2,000 and it was almost 50 pairs of shoes.
Man.
Exactly my
You
point.
guys ever thought about like so at SneakerCon? Is there anything other than sneakers there? Are there people selling baseball cards and stuff?
At the next one there probably will be
Because baseball
because
cards are
they've gotten really
popping
big.
right
Yeah,
now.
they've gotten really big.
There's.
I wonder about Pokemon cards. I know Pokemon cards sell for like if you have a shiny Charizard or something or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
big
Charizards are
money.
hitting.
probably.
$400 for a
Yeah.
shiny Charizard.
I know a lot of people who bring clothing racks.
Yeah,
excuse
like-
me,
I've seen a lot of people do like vintage clothing and stuff at sneaker cons. Like
posters of famous people, like athletes and
Yeah.
rappers and whatnot.
Dude, I bought. So I was in this. I was in Juice WRLD's text chain before he died. He had this like text message thing, and like some of these big name people. I'm in Gary V's too, but they you can actually text them. They reply to random fans here and
Yeah.
there, but you actually text them, and it goes to like they have a separate app, and they can reply to you
Yeah.
without whatever.
Making-
And then when he died, about at the 1 year. No, maybe not. It wasn't the 1 year, but it was. Right when they released that album, they dropped these boxes, and they said, it was $60 for one and $120 for the other one. I bought the $60 box,
Mm-hmm.
and the card I bought was at my Cincinnati address, and I'm emailing them, I'm calling them, but like I couldn't get connected with whoever because I couldn't figure out who I bought it from. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was through that Juice WRLD text chain. It was somewhere through his website, and I couldn't get connected in time to get the address switched.
Yeah.
So I tried to get connected with the person who lives at the house in Cincinnati, and they just got my Juice WRLD mystery box, whatever Juice WRLD merch was in there, and I was so salty.
That's unfortunate.
Dude, it could have been some valuable stuff for.
It could have.
You never
don't know.
Yeah.
Never know.
And now that you're gone, so's your package. Like,
Yeah.
You never. Like,
That was months ago,
yeah.
Man. R.I.P. to my random Juice WRLD gear.
You could have got some.
Could have had a
some
cool poster.
Velo merch.
Yeah.
That'd be
Shoot.
dope.
Wait, do you still have that Nav shirt? Or is that gone?
Oh, it's long.
Long gone. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I wanted that one, but I rarely ever buy any type of stuff that I wear.
I mean, you look at the end of the day, it's over $100 for a shirt. It's like, that's a lot.
It's
But
gonna hold its value.
it will.
Yeah.
You could wear.
That's
it
my
10
argument for
times.
wearing expensive clothing is that a lot of it holds its value pretty well.
Yeah.
Like
See,
I just bought a pair of ACG pants off of him today for $60. I'm
Oh.
like, what'd you pay for them? Never mind.
I'm not gonna expose myself.
but yeah, I'm trying.
I'm not gonna expose it. Can't.
I'm trying to like. Eventually, like I have a lot of interest in clothes. Shoes, I think will come as I get some clothes, but right now I like laptop. That's my big thing. It's like I need a better laptop than this guy to run this podcast or
Yeah.
like a soundboard.
Well,
stuff like
that's another thing too. Like you almost have like, for me personally, there's always something I want next.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can like work towards something.
Mm-hmm.
So that that helps a lot for like motivation sense. But like I've gotten like I've dove deep into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I'm trying to see like because like everybody's like you hop on the trends which mainstream like I kind of want to like find out like what I like, which during the summer it's easy for me because I can just throw on shorts and a vintage tee and I'm super happy with that.
Timeless.
And it's a cheap outfit too.
Yeah.
Like I mean like
See, I'm big into like I love my vintage. I'll go get some nice bright khaki shorts at Village Thrift or Village
Yeah.
Discount, and It's friggin' Hawaiian shirts. You know, summertime is so easy to dress.
It's
in
so
a,
easy, and like
With
during
the
the
captain's
wintertime.
hat.
Yeah, the
And honestly,
captain's hat.
during the wintertime, it just gets expensive because like
layers.
I mean, like I just bought this hoodie like last week. It was like $70 for a hoodie. I'm like, I buy like 3 vintage tees for $70. Like, and that's like me picking out exactly what I want. But
yeah, that's definitely something I just don't, here and there I'll go thrift and find something that's nice or vintage or something cool. But I haven't been spending much on clothes because I've just been really in that investment phase of my startup here.
And honestly, like what I've noticed like about going thrifting and stuff, it's so much more rewarding when you find a piece and then can wear it. It's like, I don't know why, it's just like, it's
better than buying it outright and paying.
And honestly,
nice.
There's a lot of hassle that goes into like buying vintage clothes. Like, I mean, that's why people can demand like $30 for a tee that like it's not super rare or anything, but it's got a nice graphic on it. It's a good size, whatever. Like you can be like, yeah, $30 for that tee, but like it's a lot of work to put in the legwork, go to all the thrifts to eventually
find something,
and you're never gonna find that one thing. Like, you're going to find some things that might be like it. But, like, I mean, when you're looking for vintage clothing, like, you're paying
for the guy who did the work.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And
that's why I like selling vintage so much, because, like, there's a lot of people who, like, I mean, the way I look at it, there's a vintage piece for everyone. Because, like, there's something that my grandpa, like, if I pulled up to my grandpa's house and had, like, a old basketball tee or something, like, he would go, like, he'd be like, that's awesome, like, I need it. And my grandpa is not into fashion at all. But, like, he would see that, and he'd be like, I need that shirt. So, like, that's why I love vintage so much, because I feel like there's something for everyone.
And I think, like, just to, like, I'm not sure if this is how it is, but I'm assuming that, like, you probably have, like, you like selling that because it's like, I took the time, found this, liked it, thought someone else would like it, and I'm doing this for...
And that's the thing, like, with shoes, like, shoes is fun, but I get a lot more enjoyment out of vintage now, because it's like, there's, like I said, like, every single person is different. So, like, the piece that I like, I'm banking on other people's taste to like this piece too. So it's almost like you're betting on your own taste when you're thrifting.
Shoot,
you gotta buy what you gotta buy what people want.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, and I usually
that's why
like,
I'm not a huge fan of thrifting. It's just
because you have a more unique, like, you feel like yours is like different than what you could sell.
I like to buy what I like. I don't like to buy what other people like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
everyone likes different things.
And I have like me personally, like, I was really into NASCAR growing up, so like I love NASCAR.
You've seen The Crew on Netflix? It's hilarious.
I haven't seen it yet, but actually I heard about it. No, I won't. I really don't watch a lot of Netflix.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's pretty fun.
Anything NASCAR.
I love NASCAR. So like I've started like getting a lot of old NASCAR tees, especially like Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was my guy like growing up. Birthday's on the 24th, and he's number 24. So, like, I just love Jeff Gordon.
All right.
So, that, like, Jeff Gordon tees, if I come across a decent 90s Jeff Gordon tee, like, I have to buy it. Like, it could not even be my size. Like, I'm like, oh, it's a medium. Like, yeah, I'll buy that, and, like, I'll eventually find someone to wear it. Like, I might even save it for my son one day. Like,
that's cool, though.
It's like, there's just certain things like that. And it's nice, because it's not like shoes. Like, if I buy a pair of shoes that I don't plan on selling or wearing, I'm like, oh, this is $200 just wasted sitting in my closet. But, like, with a shirt, it's like, oh, yeah, I bought that shirt for, like, $25. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
it's worth to sit on 25 versus the 200.
Yeah, like, I've spent $25 on stupid shit, like, multiple times. That I'm like, I can afford to just buy a shirt and throw it in my closet. And be like, yeah, one day someone will want that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, I'm excited to get started on designing some clothes.
You're gonna be able to do your own clothes.
I can make anything
for a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, that's what's
cool about it.
A lot of stuff for really good prices. We're pretty competitive compared to the other printers around here too. Like our pricing's really, I'd want to say really good compared to what the other places.
You guys do screen printing? You guys do embroidery at all?
Yep, screen printing, embroidery.
What's the puff
CAD
print
cuts.
called?
Yeah, I don't. What's like this puff print? Like, do you know what that is?
That's like a CAD cut.
Gotcha.
So
you
like
guys do this at all?
Yeah. I actually have a Cricut machine right there. I have one. We have one up there too. That Cricut machine, I can cut any type of vinyl, and then like we just have the heat presses up at the place.
Gotcha. That's sweet.
Yeah. One time you guys have to come check out the shop, especially once we get some stuff in there.
Yeah.
We're hoping to make it like a part of the store. Like we're gonna get hemp clothing, like plain shirts that don't say any. Like we don't know what we're gonna put on, but we're gonna get hemp clothing because like hemp's like. it's like a lot better for the environment than cotton and other stuff and polyester. But and also like hemp is just like honestly a longer lasting and more trendy material right now.
Yeah.
And like the screen printing, a lot of people get CAD cut shirts and they don't know that like a lot of like small brands, they're like buying somebody who has a Cricut, and if I go take that Cricut and I want to cut shirts that have this much design on them, you know, I have to program it in the computer, hit print, go take the 12 by 12 piece of vinyl, put it on there, take it off, put the next one on, let it cut it, take it off, do that. Screen printing, we make a screen and it's making shirts like that.
That's a cool way to do it too,
yeah,
like the screen printing.
Yeah,
and the screen printing lasts longer, it washes better, it looks better. And a lot of people that have their own brands don't even know that. So like that's what I'm hoping to really get out there and start getting some of these small brands on board and get some customers up in there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to make a shirt that just says, like, I want to make a shirt that just says, I feel like this is a shirt that anyone could buy. It just says fun guy and then
Fun
a
guy.
mushroom. Like, it's funny. Fun guy.
This man has
Simple.
some innovative ideas.
Simple.
Let me tell
I
you.
would get one.
Simple.
I
I will
get
wear one.
Exactly. So simple.
You might have to do that. Embroidered?
I mean, I could do a small little embroidery on a crew
And
neck.
then a puff print for that mushroom, bro.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I can do so
Dude.
much stuff. If you guys want to, yeah, we can
talk about this.
We can go talk about making some
I like this
check out
fun
some
guy
stuff.
idea.
I just feel like it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, anyone would wear that. Anyone that thinks they're a fun guy, you know?
And, you know. Whatever.
But, like, all right. So we're actually getting almost to 2 hours here. So I'm going to ask you guys one last question, and then we're gonna phase out here. So, what is your dream?
My dream at this moment in time, my dream is to open a store and just I'd say provide a good experience for like the community, and not even like just the sneaker community, like to like everyone, like the sneaker community, like the vintage community, streetwear community. Like I want to provide a good experience for everyone and provide like a place where they can like feel like home when they come to, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What's your dream? You've had almost 25 episodes since the last time you were on here and I answered that question.
Yeah. I mean, from being in a store atmosphere now and like having him, you know, one of my close friends opening up a store, I'd like to help support him as much as I can when he opens that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also to better myself and becoming one of the best sneaker salesmen in Northeast Ohio. I feel like that's a, pretty decent goal.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today. This is going to be a fun episode to put out. I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It was a great time.
Hey, everyone out there who's watching, just remember, stay positive, keep dreaming, go work towards your goal every single day, no matter what it is, no matter if you just keep believing, keep working, you got it. Peace out. Oh, yeah, like and subscribe. I forget that every episode.
Like and subscribe.